The world has been trying to break free from China for years. Tariffs, trade wars, reshoring pledges, political speeches promising a new era of independence. And yet, look around you right now. The phone in your hand, the laptop on your desk, the components inside nearly every product you own. Still Chinese, every single one. The world didn't just fail to leave. It couldn't. Because what most people think drives China's manufacturing empire, cheap labor, low costs, desperate workers, is not the real story. That's not even close. The real reason China's grip on global manufacturing is unbreakable goes deeper than wages, deeper than politics, deeper than any tariff can reach. It's something that took 40 years to build, something no country has ever replicated. And once you understand what it actually is, you'll never look at a product the same way again. Start with a number that rewires everything you thought you knew. China produces 28% of all manufactured goods on Earth. Not a plurality, not a slim majority. More than the United States, Germany, and Japan combined. But here's what that statistic doesn't tell you. It's not the size that makes China's manufacturing empire unbreakable. It's the architecture beneath it. Economists call it industrial density. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Picture two startups. Same product, same funding, same ambition. One is based in California, the other in Shenzhen. The California founder spends weeks hunting suppliers. Plastic casing from Ohio, circuit boards from Texas, batteries shipped from South Korea, assembly coordinated from Mexico. Every step a separate negotiation, a separate timeline, a separate point of failure. When one supplier stumbles, the entire production collapses. Now watch what happens in Shenzhen. The founder walks into a single industrial zone called Huaqiangbei. Within 1 kilometer, every electronic component imaginable. Dozens of prototyping labs, hundreds of assembly workshops. Engineers who do not just understand your problem, they solve it on the spot. Need a custom circuit board? 4 hours. Design tweak? Done by tomorrow. Ready to scale to 100,000 units? Start next week. Locals call it Shenzhen speed. It exists because of something no other country has come close to replicating. Complete vertical integration at a citywide scale. China did not just build factories, it built entire cities around single industries. Shenzhen for electronics, Dongguan for toys and hardware, Yiwu for small commodities, Guangzhou for textiles. Each one a self-contained industrial universe where suppliers, manufacturers, logistics companies, and banks all operate within minutes of each other. When Apple needs 100 million iPhones, only China can deliver. When the world needed 200 billion masks overnight, only China could respond. This is not efficiency. This is an industrial organism, a living, breathing ecosystem that took 4 decades to grow. And that is the first reason why no country has replaced it. You can build a factory. You cannot build this. But ecosystems are nothing without the people inside them. Every year, China graduates over 7 million engineers. Let that land for a second. More than the United States, India, and Europe combined. But the number alone doesn't explain the advantage. Every other country counts graduates too. What China built is something fundamentally different. Not just a workforce, a purpose-built human machine designed from the ground up to feed manufacturing. It starts before university. Vocational schools train welders, CNC operators, and quality control specialists by the millions. Technical universities produce robotics engineers and materials scientists. Graduate programs focus entirely on industrial automation and supply chain optimization. every layer of the education system points in the same direction, toward the factory floor, toward production, toward output. The result isn't just a workforce that's large. It's a workforce that's skilled, adaptable, and available at a scale nothing else on Earth can match. Here's the proof. In 2017, Elon Musk tried to build the factory of the future in California. He called it the Alien Dreadnought, a fully automated production line run almost entirely by robots. It failed spectacularly. Delays, quality disasters, financial bleeding. Why? Because even the most advanced machinery still needs humans who can think, adapt, and solve problems that no algorithm anticipated. Then look at Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory. It produces more vehicles than any other Tesla plant on the planet. Higher quality, lower cost, faster scaling, same company, same cars. Completely different result. The difference is the people. Workers who absorb new processes in days, not months. Engineers who identify production bottlenecks and eliminate them overnight. Shifts that run around the clock without friction. And when demand suddenly doubles, Chinese factories don't scramble. They scale. 10,000 new workers hired within weeks. Specialized skills pulled from a pool so vast it feels unlimited. Western manufacturers can purchase the same machines. They can copy the same blueprints. They can even hire consultants who've studied Chinese factories for decades. What they cannot buy, cannot import, and cannot manufacture themselves is this: a workforce forged by 40 years of relentless industrial culture. And now China is making that workforce even more powerful. With robots. Forget everything you think you know about Chinese factories. The image burned into most people's minds. Endless rows of exhausted workers hunched over assembly lines, doing the same motion 10,000 times a day. That image is 20 years dead. Walk into a modern Chinese factory today, and what you see looks less like manufacturing and more like science fiction. Robotic arms moving with millimeter precision. Autonomous vehicles shuttling components across factory floors without a single human driver. AI systems monitoring every stage of production in real time. Machine learning algorithms predicting equipment failures before the first warning light ever blinks. This is what Chinese manufacturing actually looks like right now. And the scale of it is staggering. In 2023 alone, China installed over 290,000 industrial robots, more than Europe and America combined, in a single year. But here's where China made a move that nobody else thought of. It didn't use automation to replace its workforce. It used automation to supercharge it. Repetitive, low-skill tasks handed to machines. Complex assembly, judgment calls, quality control, kept with humans. The result is a hybrid model that captures the precision and speed of robotics while keeping the adaptability and problem-solving that only people provide. Then layer something called smart manufacturing over the top of that. Factories where every machine communicates with every other machine, where data moves from the production floor to the cloud in milliseconds, where AI analyzes millions of data points simultaneously to optimize schedules, eliminate waste, and anticipate demand shifts before they happen. This is not a pilot program. This is not a government vision statement. This is operational reality across thousands of Chinese factories right now. And it didn't happen by accident. The Made in China 2025 initiative pumped billions into this transformation. Tax incentives for automation adoption, government subsidies for AI integration, state-backed loans for factory upgrades across entire industries. While Western governments were still debating whether to invest in manufacturing, China had already rebuilt theirs from the ground up, faster, smarter, stronger than before. But even the most intelligent factory cannot function without something far more fundamental: infrastructure. Most people think about manufacturing and picture the factory, the machines, the workers, the product rolling off the line. What they never picture is everything surrounding that factory: the roads feeding into it, the ports shipping out of it, the energy powering it, the digital networks connecting it to the entire world. And that invisible layer is where China's advantage becomes almost unfair. Start with the ports. 7 of the world's 10 busiest ports are in China. 7. Shanghai alone processes more cargo than the entire United States combined. But raw volume isn't even the impressive part. These aren't just ports, they're hyper-efficient logistics machines, automated cranes, AI-powered scheduling systems, round-the-clock operations that never pause. A container ship pulls in, unloads, reloads, and departs in under 24 hours. In many Western ports, that same process takes 3 to 5 days. That gap isn't marginal. It's the difference between a supply chain that breathes and one that constantly chokes. Then there's the land. China built the world's largest high-speed rail network. Over 42,000 kilometers of track, trains moving at 350 kilometers per hour, connect every major manufacturing hub to every major city. Workers, engineers, and managers move between facilities in hours. Raw materials and components flow across the country with a speed and reliability that would be unrecognizable to most Western logistics operations. Add the highways. China has more of them than the United States. Trucks move goods from inland factories to coastal ports faster than competitors can schedule the pickup. Then the energy grid, diversified across coal, hydro, nuclear, solar, and wind. Stable, relentless. Factories never stop because the lights went out. Compare that to manufacturing competitors, where power outages can cripple entire production runs for days. And then the layer nobody talks about enough: digital infrastructure. Over 3 million 5G base stations blanketing the country. Ultra-fast, ultra-reliable connectivity, letting factories operate, communicate, and then optimize in real time with zero lag. China didn't just build factories. It built an entire world designed to make those factories unstoppable. Now here's the question everyone asks. If China is this dominant, why doesn't the world simply leave? Everyone is leaving China. That is the headline. That is the political narrative. That is what hundreds of corporate press releases have promised since the trade wars began in 2018. Companies announced departures. Governments celebrated reshoring. Vietnam, India, and Mexico were crowned the next manufacturing giants. And some of it actually happened. Final assembly lines moved, factories opened, politicians declared victory. Then reality arrived. Because here is what those companies discovered the moment they tried to truly cut ties. Move the assembly line, and you quickly realize the components feeding it are Chinese. The machinery running it was built in China. The logistics software managing it was developed in China. The raw materials flowing into it are processed in China. You relocated a step. You did not replace a system. This is the trap no tariff can dismantle. You can move a factory. You cannot move an ecosystem 40 years in the making. And China saw this coming. While the world was busy announcing its departure, Beijing launched a strategy called dual circulation. The concept is straightforward, but the implications are enormous. Reduce dependence on foreign markets. Build absolute self-sufficiency in every critical technology and material. Semiconductors, rare earth elements, advanced manufacturing equipment. China is methodically locking down every choke point in the global supply chain. The result is something that should make every Western policymaker deeply uncomfortable. A fortress economy. One engineered to survive and thrive, even in complete isolation from global trade. The world spent years believing it held the leverage. That threatening to leave was enough to force change. That economic pressure would eventually crack the foundation. It didn't. Because the leverage was always reversed. The world needs China far more than China needs any single market. And yes, real challenges exist. Environmental destruction, demographic pressure from an aging population, debt accumulated at a scale that makes economists nervous. These are not invented problems. But China doesn't wait for crises to demand solutions. It builds the solutions before the crisis peaks. Pollution surging, deploy $300 billion into renewable energy. Labor costs rising, automate faster than anyone thought possible. The world didn't build a replacement. China built a fortress. Years of tariffs, years of trade wars, years of political speeches and corporate promises. And China's grip on global manufacturing didn't loosen. It tightened. Because what China built over 40 years isn't a supply chain. It's a living industrial organism. Rip out one part and 10 others break with it. China didn't become the world's factory. It became the factory the world cannot live without. The question was never whether China could be challenged. The real question is whether the world is even prepared to try. Drop a comment. Can any country ever truly break China's manufacturing empire? Because right now the answer looks like no.